All right, guys, let me show you the project we're going to start working on today. This right here is my drill press. It is an old monster. I inherited it from my grandfather, and it's actually so stout that he used to use it to do some basic milling operations. He had an XY table on here, and he could do a bunch of different simple milling work using this really solid machine. It is so heavy that it was everything two of us could do to lift it up onto this stand. It is a Jet branded drill press, and I've never seen a Jet that looked quite like that. That's a very old one. And then back here, kicking stuff out of the way, we have an adjustable speed, a variable speed Craftsman motor on the back of it. So I think this is something he maybe replaced on here at one point in time. Anyway, it's a big machine. It's not floor standing. If you had that on the floor, your working height would be like crotch level, and that's just not where I want spinning bits to be. So I had to get it up on this stand, and this is going to be the project. This stand is made out of scrap materials, old 2x4s and plywood, and it's done the job, but it's done the job for years and years now, and after moving it, it's actually gotten very rickety. The whole thing shakes and moves and wiggles, and I don't like that. And not to mention, it's big open sides, it's ugly, it collects dusts and garbage. And it's actually an old drawer from a different piece of furniture that just happens to fit that space. So it's not even meant to be there, but it worked. And it's full of garbage. Not that it's all garbage, this is actually some pretty good stuff. It's just thrown in there badly. So the project is going to be, we are going to build a new stand, which is going to be roughly the same size, very similar to the one that we have here. I'm going to put 2 drawers in it, and the top drawer is going to have all kinds of good bit storage in it that I haven't actually thought through yet. What I need to do is clear all of it out, spread it across the workbench, and decide what needs to be put in there and organized nicely. Since it is pretty much going to be a very similar size, all I did was kind of measure what I had here, figure out generally the components, some horizontals, some verticals, some side to sides, and marked out roughly I need 6 pieces that are 30 inches long, 6 that are, and it's gonna be kind of like based on 2x3s, I think will be plenty. So now we're gonna take a run out to the wood shed and see what material I have that fits the bill. Hold on, just a second. So in case you haven't seen it before, this is my wood shed. The floor, let's start with that, is just a cracked up mess that wiggles and waves and is terrible. But this bed, unless the concrete has shifted recently, that bed is very flat. So what I tend to do is cut up a bunch of lumber on the sawmill, bring it here, stack it and sticker it, and then ratchet strap it together so that it doesn't have a chance to warp while it's drying. Every once in a while I'll come back in here and add a new click to the ratchets. I just did it to this. I actually just put this in here yesterday. That's kind of junky poplar. We have some nice walnut, There's cherry in there, walnut and cherry over there as well. So everything with straps on it is still drying. It's only been in here about a month. But right here we have a nice big pile of maple that might be what we're using for this. There is some miscellaneous in here. There's some ash, lots of maple, 1 cherry piece in there I see. And then some more over here. So I think we're going to dig through and try to use up, I'm hoping to use up some of this miscellaneous. It's not very uniform. That might be a good use for it. I haven't decided yet if we're going to try to stick to one species of wood or if I'll just take anything that's about the appropriate size and get to going with it. All right, so at this point, I have all the materials, the rough lumber, jointed and planed and cut up and milled down to the correct size. I also cut everything down to the length that I wanted, which was a little bit arbitrary. I went based off of the old one, but I knew kind of how big it had to be, but other than that, it didn't really matter. I just made it bigger than it needed to be, bigger than the one that's sitting there, but not by much, and kind of dry fit it together and compared the two back and forth and decided, yep, this is gonna work. So this is how this is going to set up. This will actually be the left side, so it'll be this side of that sort of cabinet, and then that is the right side. It'll be flush across the top and then have just a little bit of a offset here down at the bottom so that I end up with 4 legs as opposed to, you know, these rails that'll rock on an uneven ground. Then that's the right side, this is the left side, and then these will be the side pieces that'll they'll get joined kind of like this. There'll be 2 on the back, and then that piece will flip over and sit on top of this. It'll make it a big box. The whole thing is just going to be a really strong box. As for the joinery, I am going to use dowels. I'm going to grab one of my doweling jigs here. I have used dowels a lot, but only to do like wide panels, tabletops, desktops, that kind of thing. I've never used it for joinery in this fashion. So that's kind of the main reason why I want to use it for this. I just want to see how that works, how it goes together. So I'll end up drilling dowels into the ends here and into the side here, and that'll lock it together and it'll be really strong. I am going to use, this is the 1/2 inch one. I'm going to use 1/2 inch dowels, which I believe is way overkill for this. Is that 1/2? It is 1/2. It's going to be way overkill. It doesn't need to have this massive of a dowel in there. The only reason I'm using it is because I have 2 of them. If I wanted to use the 3/8 inch or the 1/4 inch, I would have to either make or go buy smaller dowels to fit. So we're going with full 1/2 inch dowels because I have them sitting here. So I'm going to set the jig up, start drilling holes so I can start gluing all this stuff together. All right, so we have the frame is pretty well completed, and we also have the top ready to go. There's one more feature I'm going to try to build into the outside of this thing that, let me show you quick here. So this is the old stand. When dust and debris flies off of this thing, it goes kind of wide, or it can settle down here, but because it's just flat, it ends up swept onto the floor. And generally speaking, this is just kind of a mess. I've seen people try to do dust collection from a drill press, and it just seems like a losing battle. So what I'm going to try to do is contain the mess. So what I have here is my attempt at that, and I'm going to try to make kind of like a flare box. So that top is a little bit bigger than this one, and then I'm going to flare the sides out like this and try to use that to catch more of the dust that falls off and then keep it contained in there, and then I can sweep it out or vacuuming it out when I need to. So at this point, I have that 45 cut on the bottom of these pieces. This is just, I think, some junky poplar. I've got a 45 on the bottom of it. The back is just going to be flat against the wall, so I don't need to worry about it on the back. But on the sides and on the front, I want that 45. So what I need to do now is basically figure out crown molding. So at this point, we have the stand completed and more or less enclosed. This is going to be the front. Actually, I have a recess cut into the back here, and this is going to be the piece. It's going to go up against the wall over there, so it doesn't have to be nice. The whole point of this is that it is going to, if I can hold it right, that's just going to seal it up so dust that might fall down the backside doesn't go inside the cabinet. That's all it has to do, is it's a dust shield. We've got the flare box done. That's going to go up on top of here. In fact, hold on a second. I'm going to take you for a ride. Might as well look at it up there. Kickstand activated. Slide you guys off of here. Now don't fall. I said don't fall. Don't fall. Don't grunt too much. That's embarrassing. Slide you back onto here. Doesn't really need to be very centered. You'll get the picture. All right, come on back. So now, that's the front. That's what it's going to look like with the flare box. So that flare adds quite a bit of width to this, but then it's going to keep it contained. So that is what this thing is going to look like. We'll get the drill press on top of it. We'll bolt that down, and then drill press will go on top of it. And then this thing should be really, really sturdy and really, really functional as far as keeping things neat and clean. So we're probably going to call it quits here for today. I've got some other stuff I've got to get to. So next time we're going to talk about installing the drawers in here, and drawers are, I've done it 100 times on the channel. It wouldn't normally be that interesting, except I don't know that they're going to be drawers at all. They're going to be drawer slides for sure. I've got a couple of 24 inches sitting here ready to go. They're going to mount to this 1/2-inch plywood that's on the side here. And I think I'm going to have a tall, a medium, and a short. And the short is going to hold a lot of this kind of stuff. And it's going to just get a lot of grooves cut into it and a lot of organization that I will plan out in the next one and then probably cut on the Gunflint over there. The other drawer, the medium drawer, is going to have a lot of this kind of stuff, like these Forstner bits. Here, let's just take the whole set over. And I'm going to drill little holes with the Gunflint. So these are all going to stand upright and take up less space. And then the drawer will slide out and you'll be able to look down on them and pick the size that you need. That'll be a medium drawer. And bottom drawer, it's probably not even going to be a drawer. It's going to be like a pull-out shelf that's going to hold the bigger things, like my vise there. I don't know if my fence will even go in this. That's kind of a good spot for that. It might get mounted to the side. I'm going to have some nice little storage possibilities for mounting to the side of this, but the organization itself is going to get real interesting. I'm going to take, this set might stay hanging up there because it's pretty convenient to have it like that. Let's see, which side do I keep latched? One-handed, nice. I'm going to take stuff like this, all these Montana brand tools, and get them, you know, those will stand up like that. I've actually got a care package from them that I'm going to incorporate into all this. A lot of the stuff in that current old drawer is old drilling stuff that I got from my grandpa when I got the drill press. So some of it is used up junk, some of it should just get thrown away. Some of it's still nice and I need to incorporate it into this. But then the stuff I want to throw away is going to be replaced by a bunch of new Montana brand stuff. I keep saying Montana brand. They didn't sponsor this, but they did send me some of this stuff. And if you are interested in them, I have a coupon code down below that'll save you some money when you go and look at their stuff. They're a really cool brand. They are made in a tiny little town in the middle of Montana. And I've actually been to a wedding in that town, and turns out I can't believe that there's manufacturing there. But great set of drill bits. That's all going to get worked into it. Lots of different bits in here. There's also a whole set of this style of bit that goes into an impact wrench. I'm going to have those standing, I think, vertically in the same drawer as the Forstner bits. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling at this point because I'm hot and I'm excited. And there, that's a whole part of that set. Anyway, code for Montana brand stuff down below, and a lot of that is going to get put into here in the next video, where we're going to plan out really good organization for these drawers or these slides, these sliding platforms that are going to come out of this. And they're going to extend a long way out the front so that you can get down into them too. Otherwise, especially with this hood hanging over the top of it, you wouldn't be able to access a lot of it. That's why I've got such long slides. But all right, it's too hot in here, even with the air conditioner running. I am rambling, I am sweating. I'm going to call it quits. Time to go edit some stuff on the computer inside. So thanks for watching, guys. Check out the links and the coupon codes and stuff below, and we will see you next time.